This is Jason Reed Pratt, author of Cry of Justice! Have you ever wanted to steadily creep your way along with your ultra-rich and powerful ally into a crushing total victory over godless communist terrorists, or, I don't know, the Buddhist equivalents thereof sometimes, I guess, with surely only 6 or 7 episodes left until your ultimate triumph? A triumph which shall be guarded forevermore by that rich and powerful ally? Me too! Fortunately, I'm playing the Army of the Republic of Vietnam for the first time in a full-team multiplayer game of Volky Runke and Mark Herman's Fire in the Lake, published by GMT Games, and over the past few turns, the United States player, literally named Rich, and I have secured a solid and increasing lead over those dirty scoundrels, punching their useless vanguards almost entirely off the map, and reducing the score of North Vietnam to literally only 1 point. 1 point! Well, okay, Dave, has gotten back to 2 points, but still. Rich and I have 45 points, more or less. 45-ish! That's like 22 and a half times as many points! It's amazing that Team North doesn't just call it a day and go home. But no, VC Larry hitches up his black pajamas and rolls up his sleeves and grimly refuses to admit defeat at the beginning of Turn 22. Bathat Lao is the new current event, and Blowtorch Comer is upcoming. VC Larry has first initiative, and with his funds and his forces both running dangerously low, he can't risk messing around with the event this time, which would only help NVA Dave, and not by that much now, since Dave has already improved the trail to 3 out of 4 points. So he plays a full op with a special, specifically Rally and Tax. This will give US Rich a stab at Godzilla blasting the NVA in Laos through the event card, but the NVA has troops to spare right now and Larry needs to build back up. But his ability to build back up has been badly massacred off the map already, so Larry has to spend more than half his cash on 7 rally targets, 1 cash each, VC cash down 7 to 4. Fortunately, Larry can rally his Viet Cong in any province or city that lacks support from my regime, including neutral, regardless of coin control or whether he has bases there. First, Quang Tin. Rally 2 pop plus 1 base equals 3 hidden specs. Coin control is now lost. ARVN score down 2 population to 42. Second, Ben Din. He can only rally 1 spec in here. That might seem useless with so much American firepower in the province, but the firepower is only powerful if Rich uses it, and he might be busy elsewhere. It's also only powerful if Rich can see what he can shoot, and this spec is now hidden. At this point, Larry has to play long shots to have any chance of holding on to what points he has. That doesn't mean he's going to add a little lone spec to Plyku right now, though. Third target, Phu Ban. Larry can only rally 1 spec in, but now he has 2 there. Skipping over Can Hua, he goes to Quang Duc. He can put 1 pop plus 1 base equals 2 specs, rallied in. The new total there is 5. Ben Tui. Ditto. New total, 4 specs. Tay Nin. 2 plop plus 2 bases equals 4 specs rallied in. That's now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 VC pieces to my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces, so my coin control is lost. ARVN score down 2 population to 40. Qin Jiang, 1 hidden spec, added to the surviving active spec. Special Mission Tax. Larry hasn't used this much so far in the game. He can choose up to 4 spaces as targets so long as they don't have coin control. Regime support or opposition doesn't matter. Taxing the area will activate 1 spec, and shift support 1 level in my direction if it isn't already at active support, but it will add twice the population to VC cash. He does choose all 4 targets. Unfortunately for Larry, he thinks at first he can tax Lokes without specs there, and after he realizes he was wrong, he does his best to put the situation back and make adjustments by choosing 2 valid provinces, and in the process he messes up his tax results pretty badly. Ultimately, this will not end up affecting the outcome of the game, but no one, including myself, caught the problem ever, so I can't fix it by filming it now. All I can do is to set the results to what he thought at the time was correct and try to explain what should have happened. In Ben Tui, he flips 1 spec active, support up to passive opposition. VC score now down 1 population to 26. VC cash should have gone up twice the 1 population to 6, but he only collected taxes equal to the population here and elsewhere, so his money only went up to 5. Quang Duc. Flip 1 spec active, support up to passive opposition. VC score down 1 population to 25. VC cash should have gone up twice the 1 population, but Larry only took it up once to 6. Tay Nin. Flip 1 spec active, support up to passive opposition. VC score down 2 population to 23. He also should have increased VC cash by twice the 2 population, but he only increased it by the 2 population once, so to speak, so it went up from 6 to 8. Quang Tin. Flip 1 spec active, shift support up 1 notch to passive opposition, reduce VC score by 2 population to 21, increase VC cash by 2 times 2 population, but Larry only increased it by once by 2 population, so it goes up from 8 to 10. That's less than he started his move with, and not only because he rallied in a lot of places. By forgetting he collects double the population, Larry could have had another 6 cash for a profit of up to 16, starting his turn at 11. Instead, he has withered away his score down to 21. But he does have more specs back on the board. That pile over here used to be a lot larger, and along the way he whittled off a bit of my recent high score. US Rich decides he doesn't want to force the NVA to remove 6 of their pieces out of Laos provinces and passes. I honestly don't know why what? I mean, that is what happened. By passing, he gives me cash up 3 to 39, which I'm not ungrateful for, but gee, I hope he has a massively better plan for the next turn, which is turn 23. Blowtorch Comer is now active. New upcoming is Search and Destroy. Ugh. More on that soon. Robert Comer ran the Phoenix program mission using Cords, the local anti-cadre forces, and MAC-V, all of which are other event cards, some of which we've seen already, and which that Search and Destroy card will also involve next turn. The Phoenix program was intended to destroy and deny local village infrastructure to the Viet Cong. The Communists acknowledged that his tactics were highly successful at his goal, destroying their local infrastructure, but the ruthless tactics he insisted on were exploited by local village factions to disavow innocent people to the American and Allied soldiers who naturally didn't know any better. Comer's nickname of Blowtorch didn't just spring out of nowhere either. The shaded option shows the result: increased opposition to the ARVN regime and the American supporters. But the unshaded event also reflects what happened. US Rich, having rejected an opportunity to blast some holes in that ominous red wave up in Laos, gets first initiative this turn, and doesn't activate one of his momentum abilities with this card either. Instead, he runs a full sweep op with Airlift Special Mission? Well, he does have a reason for this. Rather than kick the NVA in Laos, he's trying to prepare to rescue Tay Ninh, among other things. 4 airlift targets chosen first. The U.S. can teleport any number of U.S. troops among the chosen spaces, along with up to 4 total of ARVN troops and/or our specs. Airlift really ought to make specs hidden again, prepared for action, like the weaker but equivalent ARVN transport operation, but they're rejected for balance purposes, maybe. From Quang Tri, he pulls 2 green cubes plus 3 ARVN troops. From Pleiku, he pulls 2 more green cubes. From Ben Din, he pulls another 2 more cubes. And in Tay Ninh, he brings all 9 cubes to arrive, 6 US, 3 ARVN. This reestablishes coin control. ARVN score goes up 2 population to 42. This is a very flexible move. Not only does it prepare us to kick a lot of butt in Tay Ninh, although being an airlift it doesn't flip over those specs to active, it also bolsters Tay Ninh against an invasion by the body snatchers up there, making a fairly well fortified Kien Phong look like a softer target by comparison, which, if NVA then tries, we can either reinforce it or go after the Parrot's Beak from Tay Ninh, maybe both. At the same time, Saigon has become rather vulnerable recently to Viet Cong specs marching in to take away our control of the city, so we've got some options about coming to the rescue there too. That was his special mission. His main operation is the sweep, and he doesn't have many available sweep targets really, because we've punched the Viet Cong so hard they haven't recovered in much concentration yet, except in Tay Ninh, obviously. So Tay Ninh is one of the sweep targets. 6 green troops are sweeping in place. They flip the 3 hidden specks over. Those things are vulnerable now, and once we get rid of them, we can work on digging out the bases, or we can prepare for the red wave. His other target is Bin Din, a single spec activated by the 2 troops sweeping in place there. He doesn't have to pay for these because he's in the United States. I mean, he's effectively got infinite money. This ends Rich's turn, and okay, I forgive him for not forcing NVA Dave to sacrifice 6 of his pieces, I guess. My turn at second initiative, and I've got a harsh choice. I hate that the game-winning search and destroy is upcoming. It isn't so great for Team South. It just removes an extra but hidden enemy spec with every US assault for the rest of the game, which admittedly isn't nothing, thanks Comer. But if Team North plays it against us, then for the rest of the game, any assault either of us will make, such as we're setting up for in Tay Ninh, will shift that province, although not a city, 1 notch toward active opposition, not only making Team North's ability to work in South Vietnam easier, but also melting away the US score. Worse, I have no way to prevent Team North from playing it against us. If I pass, VC Larry can still take it. So, I might as well assault while we still can without shooting ourselves in the feet. Limited op assault, I can only choose 1 target. And does the word duh mean anything in a Vietnamese dialect? Note, if it does and it's something awful, please don't put it in the comments. -3 ARVN cash to 36. 8 ARVN cubes remove all 4 active specs in Tay Ninh, but are not enough left over to try against even one of the hidden bases. There were only 4 specs there. I double-checked. I filmed 5 going in, I think, but that was an accident. At the end of this episode, we haven't exactly improved our score. We're down to a little over 83% composite of what we need to win. But we've improved our map position substantially, and Larry, trying to recover, had to sacrifice his own score so far back that he's almost as far from his goal post, 15 points away, as NVA Dave is at 17 points. This isn't Team South's best score so far, but that was only last turn, and overall I'd have to say our prospects have never looked so good. But thanks to how the initiatives have shaken out, Team North will get to have the ability to double team us now like we just did to them. And it's now their turns for doom. Doom, 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 doom. Amen, 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 amen.